Good day, everyone. I am Decadet Luardo, and I am Group 3. My group mate is Empleo Lemert, Lemhopo Brian Patrick, and Pulido Nino G. Noel. We are reporting the morning incidents, assessing common pitfalls and key challenges, do's and don'ts when dragging anchor.
So, mooring is a key operation on board, hindering many challenges for crew members involved. In particular, in many accidents involving mooring equipment are reported in last years, resulting to injuries and expensive claims. Some of the common failures are: number one, inadequate lines. Several times, the choice of a mooring line was based on a wrong criteria, resulting to reduced response of the line. Additionally, even if the criteria were as required, the inadequate storage or maintenance procedures may also lead to same results. For example, as a new set of two mooring lines delivered on board, safety officer provided guidance for storage and logged their certificates in the appropriate file. When the next safety officer arrived on board due to change crew, there was no evidence which certificate accompanies each line. Furthermore, things may have been more complex if one or both of these ropes were used on different mooring stations. The second one is inadequate mooring equipment use. Having the correct lines on board does not necessarily mean smooth operation. The installed equipment on board may also create problems. So mooring winches, capstans, fairleads, chock, bollards, etc. are to be manufactured and installed under specific requirements based mostly on the supported line size, length, and minimum braking load. So the common errors are the inadequate settings for winch brakes, inadequate maintenance of equipment, and the condition of mooring decks. So sharp edges, for example, especially for the winch brakes, it is very common after maintenance on winches, crew to forget to reinstall the brake on the correct load as per mooring lines of the ship design MBL used on the winch. The third one is planning. All equipment on boards, line, and supportive installations have been assessed during construction in respect of the specific environmental condition. Both IMO MSC CIRC 117 and OCIMF MEG-4 have such conditions as reference in order to set the maximum limits of mooring system use. However, one reason we still report failures is that even though most of the ports and terminals have their own specific limits of environmental condition, the commercial time, schedule pressure, and such that in some cases these limits are overlooked. Furthermore, in some cases, master fail to predict or understand the forthcoming weather condition or environmental parameters. For example, waves, tides, and currents.
Good day, sir. I'm Cadet Limhoko, Bel Patrick B. from BSMT 11. These practices, the regulatory requirements for the size, length, and minimum braking load of mooring lines should be followed as well as IMO-MSC CERP 1175 and relevant IACS guidance. The OCIMF MEG4 is also a recommended approach on calculating ship design, MBL, and other relevant parameters. Having chosen the right lines, the next step is to know the exact position of each line on board. A detailed log with positions on board should be followed. The OCIMF MEG4 requirements for a detailed line management plan and the mooring equipment register are recommended. The log should include this identified position for each line on board, date of the first use on board, manufacture date, and the last is hours under tension. Levels of a rope inspection. In addition, effective maintenance procedures should be followed. For each rope, the following three levels of inspection take place. First is deployment inspection. It is conducted on working length of the line, outboard of the tension side of the winch, during every mooring, operation by ship personnel assigned to a specific mooring station. The working length of the line or outboard of the tension side of the winch should be inspected for defects which may impair the performance of the line. So second is routine inspection. A full-length line inspection based on visual external and internal inspection. Jacked lines to be inspected in accordance with manufacturer's requirements. This inspection is to be conducted periodically in accordance with company's maintenance should scheduled by trained, qualified, and experienced personnel. That's all.
Levels of a rope inspection. Detailed inspection. A full-length detailed inspection including all internal and external tests conducted by the third party of manufacturer representative to be conducted when the lines is near to reach the end of the expected service life. End-for-end policy. All mooring ropes that are fitted on the winches should be rotated periodically as per company's policy. In order to ensure that ropes which are exposed to heavy load conditions are exposed for extended periods. This practice will increase their service life. In order to ensure continuity, the ropes need to be rotated irrespective of whether they have been replaced. If a mooring line during inspection shows signs of damage near the splice or on the splice, it must be reversed in order to use the other side of the rope or wire. Each line to be reversed and end for end only once. The date of the end for end change and the total hours under tension should be marked. Overall, good planning is key in order to avoid failures. After mooring, in this regard, master should review weather forecast, terminal experience and limits, local environmental conditions, in order to decide the berthing approach. Number of mooring lines to be used and information to mooring parties is essential as well. Roles and responsibilities of each crew member should be clearly defined, therefore, an effective communication plan between parties and shore personnel is of utmost importance.
Does and don'ts to avoid dragging anchor. Do use anchor watch function of the ECDIS as a supplement to GPS anchor alarm. Don't set the anchor watch on ECDIS without testing it. Do know the weather and bear in mind the wind direction. Don't anchor on a lee shore even if the chart has anchor symbol on it. Do be aware in advance, study charts, consider the seabed, check the charted dip. Don't forget to double check there will be sufficient chain for high water. Do always keep a proper watchkeeping. Don't underestimate the importance of extra lookout. Do make the dip drop. Don't keep close distance from other anchored ships. Does and don'ts when dragging anchor. Sometimes, even if everything is done right, dragging anchor may still occur. So the next best practice is to do everything to minimize significantly adverse impacts. First is do use bow thruster, main engine, and steering to maneuver. Don't override the anchor. Do if dragging is inevitable, let the vessel drag in a controlled manner. Don't do so when you know oil and gas operations are being carried out in the vicinity. Do deploy more cables. Don't drop a second anchor unless that ship is small. Do always inform the master and the main engine and co-assistant tug. Don't forget to inform alerts VTS and other vessels nearby of the condition. Do stop all cargoes operations don't maintain cargo barges.